Did you guys ever think this would get to be as big as it is when you guys started this?
I don't think we ever thought about it.
I wanted it to. I wanted the organization to grow. I wanted people to know Joshua. I wanted to give his name and his life meaning.
A race car. She's really happy with it.
Good.
I don't want
It's good. Sell it. Clean it up and sell it.
Call me, I'll come back and clean up.
Because she wants to buy the. So about 10 minutes later, the vacuum cleaner bursts into flames.
That was Joshua.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I was going, oh my God.
He was trying to do something nice. I never asked him to clean the fireplace.
That story, that episode just sticks in my mind like.
But they always help. The kids always help.
always
All
help.
of them, always.
Always.
There was this one time in Orlando, we were playing golf with my brother-in-law who plays golf like every day. I think it was our second shot, a par 4. Josh hit the ball and it hit the green and rolled all the way in and he had a birdie or an eagle. It was unbelievable. We freaked out. And then I hit the ball and it went in and did the exact same thing. My brother-in-law fell over, he almost died. Joshua was he was a fun kid. I mean, he just did a lot of fun things. His voices, he could mimic anybody.
Yeah.
Anything you heard on TV, he could mimic. Whether it's from Robin Williams to
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Oh, he loved
He
Forrest
did a lot
Gump.
of Forrest Gump.
I will tell you, there is nothing worse in this life than can ever happen to anyone than to have a child pass. It changes your life forever. And I guess we're lucky that at the end of the day it changed our life so much that we decided to do something and make a difference with it. My son Joshua wanted to be a doctor like Patch Adams. So here we are at the Joshua Shane Foundation Stroke Gym. The purpose of this room is to help people who are recovering from a stroke. Many times they're paralyzed on one side of their body, and it may be their dominant side. So this room helps prepare them for the transition home. As you can see, this is the PET CT scan. We didn't buy the machine, we did give it a home. This was so important because it puts Joshua just where he's supposed to be, in a hospital, where he always wanted to be.
Up with the good, up with the good. And then when you get to the other side, you go down with the bad. So early in 2016, I was determined I needed to have a total knee replacement. So I think they had me, when they first started having me do it, they had me do it on the passenger side, because I wouldn't be driving right away, but it certainly would be a passenger.
The car was relatively new. They'd only had it for like a week and a half when you were one of the first ones.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I felt special about it, I think.
I felt like Josh was looking over him, and it made it more comfortable for me to go home at night and leave him here. His room was right across the hall, and I just felt he was like keeping an eye on him and stuff. He doesn't get emotional, I do. You have to understand, Judy, I met Judy a long time ago.
Oh gosh, wait, I'll tell you when. Bree was 7.
Yeah.
So that was
A long time ago.
33 years ago.
So we were introduced. Now, my name is Gay. That's not your run-of-the-mill name. And I saw her about 3 weeks later, and I said, "Hi, Judy." And she goes, "Do I know you?" So for her to now be doing all of this when she couldn't remember anybody's name.
And she still can't.
I
still
still
can't.
can't
That's still
remember
a
anyone's
problem.
name. I am really,
she's
really
done-
bad with
But
that.
you've gotten better with it. You don't say, "I don't know who you are."
But I always liked you. I
I know you
I
love me,
always
but
loved
that was, you just couldn't remember me.
I get all excited if people forget my name.
Well, you
I
haven't.
love it because then I feel even.
I've tried.
Oh,
Yeah, Judy's not hard to forget, though.
why?
Because there's a lot of people named Judy.
Oh, I would forget someone named Judy.
When Josh was a teenager, and he would say he wanted to be a doctor, he said, I'm going to be a very successful doctor, and I'm going to have money, and I'll keep my family happy. But for every operation I get paid for, I'd like to do 1 or 2 for free. I want to be able to give back to whoever needs it, because there's a lot of people that need it and that wouldn't be able to afford it.
That's very
Which is
sweet.
sort of
I
what the
did not know
foundation's
that.
done.
You didn't know that?
Nope.
Yep.
Our target audience really, we do help people who qualify for state aid, but that is not our target audience because we feel that there is just so little offered to the middle class that they will lose everything before they get any help. So our goal is to try and keep them afloat during a difficult time.
She's like, "That was great. Do it again." Where are you going? Go this way. Turn. Whoa! Ready? When she sees that boy coming out of the shed, she's just a totally different kid. She just looks like she's free. No limits.
Ready? Say wow.
Gab was born with 18q deletion, which is a fine motor, gross motor. It's rare. It's like 1 in every 70,000. Up until September, she didn't walk at all. We were definitely scared. We were told, about 4 years ago? We got blood work done by a genetic doctor at Children's Hospital, and it took 26 weeks to get the results. With her being nonverbal too, it's trial and error. When we can't figure out why. Why did this happen? But there's no answers. With her chromosome deletion, it's so widespread that you just never, they don't know, like, she may never talk. But it's okay. Just because she doesn't communicate and doesn't walk doesn't mean that she's any different from anybody else. You know, seeing her watch her cousins and her friends ride their bikes and not being able to do it too was hard. The bike was $3,700. I actually was online looking at different foundations in order to help get Gab her bike. And I read tons of reviews about Joshua Har and how great they were. And so I reached out to Judy, and when we first talked about it, we were both saying, no, like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how we're gonna do this. And then once I reached out to Judy, she just was like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to ask for help, you know. Things aren't cheap. We get that, you know, and this is gonna benefit her, and that's all we care about, is her getting the things that she needs and that she can be a normal kid.
Oh, Blakey.
And within
Eva.
2 days, I had an answer.
Go ahead.
It has foot locks with straps so that she can pedal and her feet won't pop out. It has a belt
Pedal.
around her stomach and her chest so that she can't fall out of it. 2 2 bells.
And a break in the back.
Yes, it has a brake in the back, whatever your steer, so that we can guide her when she's going off track.
She's like, oh, can you steer me the right way, please?
All right, go ahead. It helps out with strengthening her legs, her core, balance, confidence.
Go get her.
Hopefully by summer she's independently walking, and the bike will have a factor on that.
It's all right. Run, run, run! Hurry up!
She's a loving kid.
Go get him! Run!
She will make any day the happiest day, no matter how bad of a day you had. My perfectly normal daughter. There's no difference. She's a human just like everybody else. Talking to Judy is like, I could never imagine going through what she went through. I really couldn't. Every time I talked to her, she would just always say, you know, this is what he would want. He would want to help kids, you know.
What about the little girl that he helped out in high school, whose father?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Josh was always bringing someone home, and I get a call one day from this mother that wanted me to know the kind of son I had. Apparently, her daughter was being ostracized by the other children. Well, it was high school, so the other kids. And he befriended her. He met her, walked her from class to class, and ate lunch with her and protected her so none of the kids would say something bad to her. I mean, they were friends, but they weren't like best friends. You know, I don't think.
He just knew her.
But he was against bullying, and
Before it was fashionable.
he stood up for everybody, really. If he thought they were right, he stood by their side.
I used to feel bad when that was happening. I used to like come home and go in the back room to like play piano, and so that would like actually like cheer me up and like brighten my day. Yeah, like bullying would happen. Like I would get bullied like every day. I have a neuromuscular disability, and which limits me from like walking as fast as the other kids in the hallway. So I wouldn't be able to like keep up with their pace. So they would be like, "Hey, get out of the way! Move, move, move!" And so so they would be pushing me out of the way. And
somebody jumped on his back on the stairs once, and they would throw him into a phys ed class with no help.
They were supposed to run around the gym or walk around the gym.
They would run around the gym in a square.
Right. And then the rule was you weren't allowed to pass anybody. So, you know, and so everyone was able to follow that rule, but then they would bunch up behind Max. So then it was like, all right, you're not allowed to pass anyone except Max.
That became the official rule in phys ed.
And I felt so terrible when I heard that
They couldn't think of anything else to do. They couldn't line them all up and run back and forth. They couldn't think of any other way except you cannot pass except for Max. You can't pass anyone except Max.
there were like 30 to a class, and I was like falling behind in class because the majority of the class would like understand what was going on, where I wouldn't like understand what's going on, but I would still say, yeah, just so I wouldn't like look like that different, saying like, no, I don't know what's going on. And so like everyone would look at me saying like, huh? It was all just a mess.
We had asked the school to send Max to the Bridge Academy. We asked the public school to send him in a school for the handicapped. That's how they refer to it. And of course they wouldn't. So we had to, for 7th grade, just pull him out of the public school and place him at the Bridge Academy. And at the same time, we had to file for due process, which is the procedure that you have to go through with the public school in order to have a decision made by a judge. It took 3 years to go through due process. We were in court.
Right, you max out every credit card. You
right,
know.
and that's what the public school counts on. They know that people can't do that.
Right.
And they
Hiring a lawyer alone
right.
bankrupts you.
You have to come up with the funding for the school, plus transportation. The school's an hour away. I work full-time as a teacher. He works full-time. And, you know, we thought we were doing fine all of these years financially. We were, you know, but that expense is more than a family can handle. We could not, there is no way. Our geneticist knew that, and she knows.
Knew that he had potential. And this shouldn't be the end for him, you know. So she pointed us to the Joshua Harshing Foundation.
You had friends.
Yeah.
He came home happy for the first time in years.
And he never had a bad day at Bridge. Not a single bad day. There's no bullying. Now he's going to have a future. You're going to college. He's going to Marywood University.
Yep, class of 2023. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have gotten in for music therapy that I'm gonna take for my next step after high school. I know how hard it is to have a challenge, so I hope to use my love for music to help other people accomplish their goals and help with their challenges.
Without an organization like the Joshua Harshing Foundation, it's impossible.
And they believed in him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good bet.
And that helps when people believe in you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
So they fixed it.
Do you want me to come back and clean up later?
Hi, Joshua.
Did he ride?
He tried to had a honey.
Hey, Josh.
Stevie's in
How
the
you
background.
doing? Did you ride? Huh? Good, good. What did he say?
He didn't learn, but it's the most he's ever practiced.
Well, that's good. Practicing is good, and then you'll learn. Love you.
He's not big on sports.
Hi, Stevie girl. Hey, Rob.
What's amazed me about the work that Judy and Mark do with the
See you
foundation
guys soon.
To
I
try
love you.
is how many different things you guys have gotten involved in. It's mind-boggling, the variety of things that you guys do with all that stuff. It's just, it's mind-boggling to me that you get involved in all this stuff.
I love doing what I do. I love
Well,
it.
you
The
can
only
tell.
way you could do it
Tell.
and put this kind of time in is to absolutely love it. And I do. It keeps my son right next to me all the time.
Well,
We know.
that's what it's all about, right?
You know it.
I think that's what a lot of it's about.
The investment that you can make in one person can multiply. That was his goal, was to be able to help people. He was going to school to be a doctor, and you know, it's a great way to carry on his memory. And I like to think that, you know, Max is going to help in a small way do that.
I feel like Judy saved all of us, really, with her love and in memory of Joshua. She has really saved our son.
Without support, I don't think we'd make it. Whatever she needs, and always be her advocate. Never give up. Fight till the end.
You cemented Josh's legacy.
I think he would be so proud. Smiling down on us and saying, woohoo, we did it, we did it. I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to make a difference, and you've made it a difference for me and in honor of me.